Madrigal doesn't strike out, I'm going to be worn out by those two guys near the bottom, and then I got to go turn it around again with Anderson and company after that.
We were talking before the game. You picked up some information about protection for a hitter. Talk about that a little bit in this lineup. I know some of your former players were talking about that last year.
Yeah, so I was talking with Frank Thomas a lot last season, and here's someone, Frank Thomas, Hall of Famer. He knows the importance of having protection in the lineup, being protected, and also him protecting other players.
Right.
And Luis Robert, oftentimes last year, was batting 7th. His protection was Nomar Mazara, who, as we all know, was struggling. So the idea would be, if you really want Robert to get better pitches to hit, put a dangerous hitter behind him. Because if there isn't a dangerous hitter or someone who's cold, if I'm the pitcher, I'm not giving Luis Robert anything to pitch. I'll deal with the next guy. So you put Luis Robert, who you want him to get going because he's the kind of guy that he's like a game-changing player. You put him between Tim Anderson and Jose Abreu, I like the chances of Luis Robert having a good season.
That's right. You saw the umpires coming out there earlier. There's a panoramic vision of this beautiful ballpark here in Glendale. They're the umps once again. And again, our update on the situation back in Chicago. Good news this morning from Mayor Lori Lightfoot. They are going to allow 20% fans for opening day, both the Cubs and the White Sox. And there's about 8,000 fans. And, of course, Chuck, it'll be distancing, so a limited capacity in the early going. But I kind of think that's it's going to be, by July, maybe more fans.
Yeah, it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. It's roughly 20%, 8,100 fans. And as the summer goes on, they can change that. But that's how it's going to begin. Parties of people have to stay 6 feet apart. Fans will have to wear masks. But that is great news because we're sitting here, we're getting to experience fans in a ballpark for the first time in a year. And what a difference. It's obvious, but when you just hear people cheering as opposed to no cheering, it's not baseball.
Well, I sat in for 21 games on the South Side last year, and I'm telling you, there's a big difference with fans and no fans. Even the NFL with the Bears, I don't know how those guys got together in terms of getting their adrenaline up for a game. When people watch, Tony was talking about this before the game, when people watch you, it gives you a little boost.
Yeah, for sure. And, we'll see. It's Adam Eaton was talking about this, actually. Adam had a rough year last season with the Nationals offensively, and he's one of, I would say, 20 or 30 guys in baseball who they don't want to make excuses. But if you really, dig into it and ask, why did you struggle the way you did? And they'll tell you that some players feed off the energy of a crowd. And that kind of just didn't make it feel like baseball to them. And that was part of the puzzle. The other puzzle for a lot of hitters, Yasmani Grandal, one of them, and JD Martinez, they were not able to watch video on those protocols. You're now going to be able to watch video of your at-bats on an iPad, I believe, in the dugout, right. And that's going to help these guys.
Okay, the Dodgers take the field, and the pitcher you mentioned, Julio Urias, Julio Cesar Urias, 6 foot, 225 pounds, out of Mexico. As he toes the rubber there, you see him. His first outing this year, 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, 1 run was earned, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. But Chuck, he's listed as the 5th starter in this Dodger rotation. We're going to see Price today, too. So we're going to see 2 of their mainstays, David Price. Of course, Trevor Bauer was the big pickup in the offseason. Kershaw's still in the mix. Buehler's in there. So talk about the White Sox rotation. This rotation's tough.
When your number 5 starter goes 5-0 in the playoffs with 29 strikeouts, 4 walks, and gets the final out in the World Series, you got a pretty good team. And that's right. What they're getting in Urias. Primary pitch is a fastball. It's about, it's not 99. It's between 90 and 95. Might peak at 97. Throws a lot of low 80s changeups, curveball, slider. He's the full package. He's a lefty. So the Sox are going to see a few lefties here today. It's going to be Urias, and we're assuming after Urias it's going to be David Price, and then there's a few other lefties in the bullpen today for the Dodgers.
Well, it's listed as the first 4 pitchers, unless they change the rotation, will be left-handers. So Urias on the hill. He was scouted by Mike Brito, also scouted Fernando Valenzuela, so some good background there. One of the youngest pitchers in baseball at the young age of 19. He made his Dodger debut, and he was the youngest pitcher since Rex Barney of the Dodgers back in 1943. In fact, Urias was the youngest postseason pitcher in Dodger history. Don Drysdale was previously the youngest back in 1956 in the World Series. All right, we're set to go as Tim Anderson sets in. Here's the first pitch of the game, a swing and a shot to center, but it's right at the center fielder, and one out. Peters makes the catch out there easily.
You know, Tim is a guy who always likes to have fun. He seems to be having more fun in spring training. What I'm seeing from him is he's communicating with every player possible in his own way, goofing around. You know, he was looking at Barnes, said something to him as he gets to first base. He's having fun with just everyone he's coming into contact with. He's just enjoying himself out here.
He is now a mature veteran leader on this club. All right, here's Luis Robert. Robert, 6 for 11 so far in the spring games. One strike on him. A big day there a couple of days ago in Goodyear. A couple of hits, looking really good at the plate. 1 RBI for Luis. There's a swing and a fly ball to right. This will be an easy out for the right fielder. Betts, Mookie out there for the catch. So 2 fly balls, and it's 2 outs and nobody on for Jose Abreu. Sox going after the early in the count after these pitches.
I think they heard us on the webcast. They heard me say the Sox are going to score more than 0 runs today, and they're like, you know what, we're going to do everything we can to score some runs right here, right now, first inning, get that out of the way.
Jose 2 for 11 in the spring games, 1 RBI as he stands in. I think 3 pitches so far for Urias, 3 or 4 pitchers. Here's the first one to Jose. Another one, ground ball to short, scooped up by Seager, and he throws him out. Boy, quick inning for Urias, 3 up, 3 down, and at the end of a half, no score here at Glendale.
2021 Chicago White Sox presented by Guaranteed Rate. Visit rate.com to learn how Guaranteed Rate helps turn people's belief in a new home into action. If you believe, you will. And I believe we have Mike Wright.
Mike Wright,
for the White Sox.
6'6", 240. Non-roster invitee from Bennettsville, South Carolina. Mike Wright pitched in Korea, making his appearance with the White Sox. Started the opener, I believe, for this whole camp here. And Mookie Betts stands in. Mookie Betts 3 for 10 for the Dodgers here in the camp so far. Scoreless game, bottom of the first. Mike Wright, 33% fastballs, 30% sliders, and 6% curves. 93 miles an hour for this young man. He's been around for a while. His third outing, as a matter of fact. He pitched against Milwaukee in the opener. Worked 1 inning in that game, gave up 3 runs. He fires right down the middle for a strike. 2-1. Betts, Seager, and Turner here in the first, the Dodger mainstays. Good lineups for both teams here in this early camp game. Game number 9. On a gorgeous day, 85 degrees, the predicted high, although it's supposed to cool off as the week progresses here and get back in the 60s here in Arizona. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Betts. That's the Dodgers coming in here at 3-3-2, and they are loaded with talent. 8-time division winners in a row, and won it all last year. Swinging a high fly ball. Should be out. There comes Aloy coming in. Don't collide. They do. I think Aloy made, no, center fielder grabbed the ball. So Robert has it. He's okay. Boy, when you see a guy go down like that, you always worry for, but
they got to work on that. I mean, they have been working on it, but they can't be, the communication is key. And obviously Luis Robert covers a lot of ground, and many times Aloy would just allow Robert to come in there and take control, take command as a center fielder. That didn't really happen there. So miscommunication there, and that has to be cleaned up because you cannot have either of those players hurt, certainly in that situation.
There's Corey Seager taking a strike. Think about Aloy as he's still learning out there. And the one thing he has to learn, Chuck, I think the most, don't get hurt. Don't go banging into the wall. Don't try to make a diving catch, fine, but take your spots. It's a pitch high.
Yeah, I think Eloy, in his mind, and I don't fault him for this, he feels like he can get to every ball like Luis Robert, but he's not Luis Robert. He's got to play within his game defensively.
Here's the pitch, swing and a foul. You know, Engel was talking about that early in camp. He lets Robert roam out there. Engel said, I'm hugging the right field line more because, you know, why bother if Robert's going to catch anything in the gap? So maybe Eloy should get the information on that.
Yeah. So Wright's an interesting pitcher in the fact that, you know, every pitcher here. Oh.
Back off Wright. It's going to be a base hit. Looked up off his shoulder or his back. You think he's okay. That ball was hit right back at him.
Yeah, he's fine. Every pitcher in baseball, like I'll say 99% of them, did not get many innings because of a 60-game season. Mike Wright last year threw 157 innings in Korea. 29 starts. So he doesn't have the same situation that every other pitcher basically in baseball has, that they just didn't get the innings. He had the innings last year in Korea.
Saw the replay that, thank goodness he's okay. So a couple of scares early in this game for the White Sox, minor scares. Here's Justin Turner, came back to the Dodgers this year, signed a 2-year, $34 million contract. Play him a little bit shaded toward right. Here's the first pitch, fastball in there for a strike. That's 0-1. A.J. Pollock would be next. Dodgers have a man aboard here in the first and one out. Betts flied out and Seager with the infield hit.
Wright actually won a championship in Korea last year in the KBO League. So he won a championship and so did the Dodgers.
Outside with that one.
I'll take the World Series championship though.
Oh, they're on a roll. This team, you look at their roster and you can actually compare the two teams. They're pretty similar in depth, the White Sox and the Dodgers. And you're right, it'd be great to see them rekindle some memories back from 1959. At the belt is Wright. Here's the pitch. Swinging a shot to right center. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Robert cuts it off, but the runner will go to third. So Dodgers have something cooking here in the first. Single off the pitcher's shoulder by Seager. And then Turner rips one in the right field, right center for a base hit. So first and third, one out for A.J. Pollock, who's 1 for 9 in the Cactus League so far. No RBIs, but a good chance for him to get one right here. Let's see if the White Sox can get 2 on this one and choke off this inning. The ball was hit like a bullet to right center by Turner.
Yeah, the Dodgers signed Pollock as a free agent, and he's someone, when he is healthy, is one of the best outfielders going, but staying healthy has been, an issue for him. And he's batting 4th in this lineup here today.
Infield back in double play depth as Pollock stands in. Right in the jam here in the first. Fires it down the middle for a strike.
Yeah, games played last several seasons. Well, he had 55 games in 2020, but then 86 in 2019, 113 in 2018, 112 in 2017, and then in 2016, just 12.
Wright's fastball that time, 92 miles an hour. Here it comes. Bounces in. Nice stop by LaCroix. That ball bounced in front of the batter's box almost, and nice job by LaCroix in choking it off to prevent the run from scoring.
So Wright is one of these pitchers who is looking for a shot, looking for an opportunity. You look at the White Sox rotation. Okay, maybe you give him he can give you some depth starting in Charlotte, and if you need him, here's an arm that if he makes the team could help them out.
1 ball and 1 strike on Pollock. As Wright delivers. Fouled it back here. Right side, past first base. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on A.J. Austin Barnes will be next. Sox failed in the first. Just 6 pitches, I think, for Urias as they went down pretty quickly. Fly ball, and a ground ball. Dodgers, meantime, have first and third and only 1 out.
Yeah, I'm not sure they read scouting reports too much in spring training, but they were trying to jump on him, that's for sure.
Yep. Here's the pitch. Fouled it back again. Count holds at 1-2. Dodgers, you look at their history, it's amazing. They've done recently with the 8 straight titles, but They've won 7 World Series, 24 pennants, 19 division titles, including his 8 in a row, as I mentioned. Going way back to their days in Brooklyn. Jerry Reinsdorf growing up as a Dodger fan. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Pollock. Another foul ball, this one getting way over the screen, out of play. Dodgers left Brooklyn back in 1957. They won 1 title there, 1955, when Johnny Padres had a great World Series against the nemesis for the Dodgers, the New York Yankees.
My dad was at the '59 World Series. He went to one of the games.
I was not there. I was 12 years old. I've heard about it, and I've had people who were there who talked to me about it, but couldn't get a ticket. 1-2. Here it is. Ground ball to short. Anderson, nice play in the hole. We'll get the play at second for the, a little bit late apparently. He's in there safely, so thought they'd get the force at least. Didn't get the force. A run scores, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead.
Tough play for Tim Anderson. He did field it. He might have bobbled it just for a split second. And they came close to getting the forced second, but the run scores. So 1 run in, 3 hits. They call that a hit for the Dodgers. He was trying to get the ball out of his glove. Madrigal, nice catch there, but everybody's safe.
That was a nice stop by Tim. Again, he just too late at second base. So run in, and it's a 3 straight hits for the Dodgers. It's 1-0. They still have men on base, second, first, and only 1 out for Barnes. Austin Barnes, the catcher, 1 for 7 in the camp game so far. No RBIs for him.
Yeah, Wright was looking for the ground ball. He got it, just not where the White Sox were defending, and Tim just couldn't get there in time to make the out.
Yeah, if that ball's right at him, it's an easy double play, but unfortunately it was in the hole. 1 strike on Barnes. Matt Beatty would be next. Dodgers with a fly ball, then 3 straight hits. Fly ball out. Right at the belt, inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. About 2,000 fans on hand, and you can hear them. Great to hear that fan chatter in the ballpark. A lot of Dodger fans here, of course. This is their home base, as is with the White Sox. A little wind today, flag blowing just a bit out, not too much wind, but beautiful day. 85 degrees, the predicted high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Up high. 2-1.
Yeah, Lucroy behind the plate told him to keep it down, and relax. He's not young. He's a young pitcher. He's been around. He played with the Mike Wright. Where did he play? I gotta look this up. Live TV here.
He's 31 years old,
yeah.
And everybody's young to me though. So he's still a youngster. 2-1. Swinging a pop-up. Well, let's stay in play. Let's see. Off of the mask is LaCroix. Will they have her play? Oh! Bobbles it. It'll be no play, I would imagine. Tough chance for him up against the screen there, Chuck, and that's the toughest play one of the toughest plays in baseball.
Yeah, Wright came up in the Baltimore Orioles organization, and tough play by LaCroix. You know, Jonathan Lucroy, we're going to talk about him during the broadcast here. The high sky, I think he knew it was somewhere up there, and then once he saw it coming down, he was too far away to make the catch. But Lucroy, a veteran, feeling the best he has physically in about 4 years here in camp with the White Sox.
There's a changeup that's off his bat check swing. You know, Tony was talking about that, he didn't obviously reveal anything about the roster, but he did say framing a game is very important. And a guy like LaCroix's been around. You think he'll be the guy that you want in there behind Grandal, who's coming along pretty well, but still out. Should be back pretty shortly.
Yeah, he threw. He was taking part in batting practice here in the stadium before the game yesterday.
2-2 is high for ball 3.
And a lot of pitches, a lot of work
Yeah.
for Wright here, the opposite of what Urias was dealing with in the top of the first.
Well, Ryan Burr, Jose Ruiz, Zach Birdie, Tayron Guerrero, Cody Hoyer is supposed to pitch today, so among the guys they will see later on. 7-inning game, by the way. I could have mentioned that earlier. Full count. Let's see what happens here. Looks in for the sign. Here it is. Inside. He's on. That almost hit him. So, the bags are juiced for the Dodgers here in the first inning as Turner moves to third, Pollock moves to second, and Barnes is on first. So 3 hits and a walk. And
Ethan Katz coming to the mound to talk to Wright, new pitching coach for the White Sox.
there is activity, I believe. I see a catcher out there in the White Sox bullpen. So, after getting the first out rather easily, and 3 hits and a walk here, and that last at bat was pitches get away for Wright, pressing a little bit, and now he's got Matt Beatty up, who was 5 for 10 in the game so far for the Dodgers. This guy's 27 years old, from Snellville, Georgia, 12th round pick back in 2015. Left-hand batter facing Mike Wright, who has struggled here in the first.
So we're talking about Lucroy. He was an all-star twice with the Brewers in his 20s. Suffered a herniated disc, and he was really, not the same catcher, and he was playing for several teams, the Rockies, the A's, Angels, Cubs, last year with the Red Sox. He's a guy a lot of teams wanted on their squad just because of what he can potentially bring, the wisdom. And he was talking, this guy sounds like a future manager, future coach at least.
Yeah. Well,
talking
catchers,
to us in the media. Yeah, you're
catchers
right.
They're a big part of the game when they play, so when they pick up a lot of things in the course of their careers. Not quite a full shift on Beatty, but Moncada is really the only guy on the left side. Anderson shifted way towards second base. It's a pitch low. Anderson standing about, as we look at it, from about 10 feet to the third base side of the bag at second. And Moncada alone at third base, pushed way off the line. So 1-1 count here on Matt Beatty.
And Luis Robert shaded towards right field, so plenty of room in left center if he was able to get it out there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Sox need a ground ball here, no question about it. Don't get it. There's a little shanker into left field. This will score a couple. It's in fair territory, cut off by Moncada. So 2 runs on the bloop hit to left field by Matt Beatty. Drives in 2. His first 2 RBIs of the spring. And suddenly the Dodgers are broken open here with 3 in the first. And it's a 3-0 Dodger lead.
And he's not happy about it either, is Wright. And they might, here comes Tony, and I think that'll be it for Mike Wright in this start here as La Russa is headed to the mound, and they're going to go to the bullpen.
Well, that was unfortunate. Not a bad pitch. He jammed them and just got dripped it in there into left field. So Mike Wright departs here. He's 2 runs crossed to play in the blooper. So in the inning, first I mentioned Mookie Betts flied to center. Seager got a hit off the pitcher, Wright, and then Turner got a base hit. Then Pollock infield hit. So 3 hits, a walk, and then another hit by Beatty. Scores 2, and it's 3-0. And suddenly Mike Wright is out after 1/3 of an innings, giving up 3 runs. He's responsible for 2 guys on base. So could be worse for him unless the White Sox can shut him down here. I don't have my binoculars here, Chuck, so we're going to have to see who's in there today.
Yeah, he's guarded right now. I can't see who it is.
Number 91, right?
Yes.
Yes, you can see that as plain as day. That should be, I think I know who it is. It's Connor Sadzik, right? Could that be?
Hold on a sec.
You'll see it on the board. Among the pitchers listed today for the White Sox, Ryan Burr, Jose Ruiz.
It's definitely not Jose Ruiz.
No, it's not.
Definitely not Ryan Burr.
It's not Guerrero, it's not Hoyer, so it's got to be Sadzik by a process of elimination.
You know what? I don't think it is. Hold on a second. He does not have a name on the back of his jersey.
Well, I got the roster here. Let's see. White Sox down 3-0 in this one. Dodgers opening up things in the first inning after White Sox went down in order, 3 up, 3 down. Dodgers still have 2 men on base.
So if you're wondering why we're having such problems with this, remember when Tony La Russa said a few days ago that the White Sox just didn't have enough pitchers, so they would have to bring over some pitchers from minor league camp.
Right.
This is one of those scenarios. Because, they were rolling over innings at the start of camp, say, okay, we've already given up a couple of runs. He's hit his pitch limit. We're just going to end the inning. And Tony felt like this was not good for the fans. So he's like, we're going to bring guys over from minor league camp just in case something like this happens. Well, that is exactly what just happened.
Okay. Well, Edwin Rios is up here with runners on first and second, and only 1 out. Left-hand batter is Rios. He's the 26 from Puerto Rico. 6th-round pick back in 2015. Takes the ball 2-0. Rios and then McKinstry will be next. Dodgers still batting here in a long first inning. There it is, up high for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. So shaky outing for Wright.
I have the answer to our question. Who is on the mound for the White Sox? It is Kyle Kubat.
Kubat, he pitched before. He was in the game earlier, Kyle Kubat. He'll pitch a high fly ball to left. Eloy looking up to that sky, and he makes the catch. So runners hold, 2 outs. Here is Zach McKinstry. And Kyle Kubat. He was in the game earlier. My records here. 2 out and 2 on here in the first.
So he went to University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Originally from Omaha is Kyle Kubat.
He pitched in the opener of the camp. 1 inning against Milwaukee, scoreless. He deals it outside for ball 1.
So he's another one of those under-the-radar prospects that White Sox fans should know about. In 2019, he was in Winston-Salem, Birmingham, Charlotte. He was dealing in Winston-Salem and Birmingham. Struggled a bit in Charlotte when he got up there, but did get some wins. Went 5-3 with a 5.63 ERA with the Knights. Normally a starter. He's coming in here as a reliever, trying to get out of this jam. 3 runs in, 4 hits for the Dodgers.
Swing a ground ball to second. This should do it. It's up to short. Anderson makes the tag of the bag, and that's it. About the Dodgers have a big inning. They got 3 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, a walk, and 2 men left. So after 1 here in Glendale, Dodgers 3, White Sox nothing.
Best way to get priority access to Guaranteed Rate Field this season. For more information, visit whitesox.com or call 312-674-1000. So yes, the city of Chicago, the White Sox, all announced today that fans will be allowed, starting with the home opener on April the 8th against the Royals. 20%, roughly 20% capacity, and we'll see how things progress. So go to whitesox.com about tickets. Season ticket holders will have the priority certainly early on, and then we'll see how things progress from there.
Oh, that's me. So we'll see how it goes. Here's Moncada to start the second. White Sox down 3-0. Moncada 3 for 12 in the camp, no RBIs, and he takes a strike, batting right-handed against the left-hander Julio Urias. Interesting story about Urias. Chuck, as a young man, he had a benign mass in his left eye, and his eye was almost closed. He had 2015. He was swinging a fly ball to second base out there in the grass. As the second baseman McKinstry making the catch for the out. So 1 dead here. Again, the White Sox going after their first couple of pitches. Anyway, he had this mass on his eye. And his surgery back in 2015 to correct it. And he said, interesting quote, he's a Roman Catholic, very devout Catholic. He said, that's how God works. He gave me a bad left eye, but a good left arm. So, interesting story about Urias, the Dodger left-hander, who's gotten the first 4 men out for Eloy here in the second inning. Eloy 2 for 13, looking for his first RBI in the spring games. About 6 pitches in the first inning, and so far, minimal pitches here in the second for Urias. 1 strike on Eloy.
You know, when Jose Abreu won the MVP, when the news came down, Eloy said that he started crying when he heard about it. It's like his big brother.
There's a smash up the middle, but it'll be caught by the second baseman, McKinstry, and he throws him out. 4-3. The ball got by the pitcher, thought it had a chance for a while, but not hit hard enough. And like that, again, 2 outs quickly here for the White Sox in the second for Andrew Vaughn, who's had a pretty good camp so far. The DH, 3 for 11. There's the replay. That ball up the middle, kind of jammed a little bit. Didn't get enough bat speed on that thing and was able to choke it off for the out at second base. So Vaughn has 4 RBIs and a home run.
This is a matchup I want to see because, you know, Vaughn has the potential to be the DH come opening day. And, you know, he's never played above high A. Well, here he's got one tough customer in Urias, one of the best in baseball. How would he do against him?
Well, he took a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the first pitch. That's a breaking pitch, and it's 1-1.
Vaughn's got a great eye. He's going to draw his walks for sure. And he's got a 1-1 count right now against Urias.
Fastball and a breaking pitch so far to Vaughn. Here's a play him pretty much straight away. Swinging a foul back. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So Vaughn trying to learn to be a major league hitter and a DH, and the White Sox happen to have a guy in camp who can help him. His name is Jim Thome. So Thome's been working with a bunch of guys, and he's actually in the dugout here today, working with Vaughn throughout spring training.
Swinging a fly ball. It's going to turn foul down the right field side, I believe. No, it's caught. I thought that ball would get in the stands. It's caught in fair territory for the out. So another quick inning for Urias. 3 up and 3 down at the end of an inning and a half here in Glendale. Dodgers 3, White Sox nothing.
Arizona, and this is for me. Rich, this was written for me.
All right, go.
Chicago White Sox Charities will be hosting an online spring cleaning jersey sale starting on Friday, March the 12th. There will be over 100 jerseys for sale from the archives. Visit whitesox.com/garage sale for more information. Whenever I come to a White Sox game, it's like a magnet. I'm always looking for the fans who wear the archival, sometimes random White Sox jerseys from the past.
I know. I've seen you do features.
Almagrossos.
I've seen your features. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You know, the Harry Chappises of the world. So this promo was made for me. I looked around today. I saw a Creedy. There's an Anderson. There's a Burley.
And there's a Birdie on the hill.
Bump. There it is. There's a Zach Birdie on the mound.
Zach Birdie on Downers Grove is. This will be his 3rd appearance already in camp. A couple of outings. First outing against Texas, gave up a couple of runs in an inning. Last time against Seattle, shut him down on nothing. So Zach Birdie at Downers Grove facing the Dodgers here. And DJ Peters, who is off to a pretty good start. 4 for 9 in the camp so far. 2 home runs for this young man and 3 RBIs. DJ Peters as Birdie fires the first pitch outside for ball 1.
So Birdie had Tommy John surgery, former first-round pick of the White Sox. Tommy John, then he had surgery on his knee. It's been a long road back for him. Used to throw about triple digits, 99. And we'll see where the velocity is for him today as we start here in the spring. 96 miles per hour there on that pitch from Birdie.
And it's 1-1 on DJ Peters, Mookie Betts, and Corey Seager here in the Dodgers second. In a 3-0 game, Dodgers on top. Straight away on the outfield is a swing and a foul back for DJ Peters. 2 stops in the minors for him back in 2019, the last minor league campaign. 23 home runs that year in those 2 stops, 81 RBIs. Got 2 so far, home runs in the games in the early going here in the Cactus League.
So I am personally pulling for Zach Burdi for a number of reasons, but number one for me is that he grew up a White Sox fan. So here's someone who grew up a fan of the Sox. And a lot of his friends, by the way, were Cubs fans. And he's like, no, badge of honor, Sox fan over here. And now he gets drafted by the White Sox. He's on the mound for the White Sox. What a story. I want him. I want the best for him in his White Sox career.
2-2 count on DJ Peters as Burdi delivers just a bit outside. Yeah, Burdi from Downers Grove. I lived in Hinsdale for a lot of years, which of course is right next to Downers Grove. And we used to go to some of the same restaurants. We're talking about places out there. Nice young man. Great breakfast stops out in Hinsdale. All right, 3-2. Here it is. Again, a bit outside with the fastball, and it was 96 again. So, once again, the Dodgers in business here of a big first inning with 3 runs, and now a leadoff walk to DJ Peters for Mookie Betts, who was flied out to center in the first. The only out that Mike Wright got. Started out okay, then gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and that was it for him. And Kyle Kubat came in, much to our surprise, and pitched 2/3, and he was scoreless. Runner on board, nobody down for Betts. As Burdi looks in for the sign from Jonathan LaCroix and delivers. And the dirt outside. Nice stop again. LaCroix's had 2 of those so far. That saved the potential advance on the base for DJ Peters. 1 ball, no strikes on Betts.
So last spring training, we had a good time. So we had a competition amongst White Sox players. There was a competition at Dave & Buster's, about a mile away from here. And I went to Giolito and I said, okay, we need 4 guys. 4 guys. You guys have a competition at Dave & Buster's. Who do you want? Who's got to be there? So here's who he chose. Zach Burdi, Dylan Cease, Nick Madrigal. Wow. So we filmed this for NBC Sports Chicago. They played video games, Pop-A-Shot, skee ball. They had a blast to see who would be crowned champion.
And I bet you the competition was fierce.
It was fierce, and if you know Zach Burdi, honestly, I thought he was going to be the winner. He's, there's a lot of kid in him. There's a lot of kid in all these guys, and he's really competitive. But no, it was not Zach Burdi who won, and it wasn't Giolito, and it wasn't Cease. Nick Madrigal was crowned the Dave & Buster's champion.
Wow, there's ball 4 straight pitches, so rough start here for Zach. 2 walks to start things off. That's the 3rd walk for the Dodgers in the game. And again, they have 2 men on here in the second as Betts gets the walk. Here's Corey Seager. Three 3-0 Dodgers. Here comes Katz out again. Activity in the bullpen, no activity out there for the White Sox in the pen. So Dodgers have had base runners galore here in the first couple of innings. Sox coming in with 1 win, that 7-0 win a couple of days ago in Goodyear against the Indians. And the Dodgers have a record of 3-3-2. So
tell you the starters next few days for the White Sox. You got Lance Lynn going tomorrow against Blake Snell and the Padres. That's going to be a good matchup. Thursday, they're off on Wednesday. Thursday, Ronaldo Lopez takes the mound. Friday, Lucas Giolito. Saturday, it'll be Jimmy Lambert.
I think Michael Kopech is scheduled tomorrow too, correct?
And Garrett Crochet and Liam Hendricks.
We have that game for you. 105 on the web. 2:05 Chicago time. Swinging a high fly ball, deep center field. That ball is really tagged. It is gone. A big 3-run shot for Corey Seager. And the Dodgers have posted 3 more on the board here in a hurry. And it's now 6-0 Dodgers.
And that was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And Seager got all of it way back there to right center field. Luis Robert couldn't do anything about it. And 6 runs are in for the Dodgers. He was waiting on that. Dead red.
That ball had home run written all over it the minute it left the bat, and it was gone. So 6-0. 2 walks for Berti and a home run. 2-3 spots on the board here in the first couple. There's a pitch way outside. Looks like he's just either the release point is wrong or he's just not himself today. 1 ball and no strikes. This is Justin Turner up. Again, he misses 2-0. Well, there are days like this, and so far the White Sox pitching has not been sharp.
Yeah, I mean, his fastball command is off, so they're just waiting on fastballs. I think that's probably what the approach is here. Yeah.
Hey, way off. He's not even close. 3-0. Wright, Kubat, and now Berti on the hill for the White Sox. We are in the second. Again outside. So he's missing pretty much everything. That's the 3rd walk in the inning. And now he's got A.J. Pollock, who had a base hit in his first at bat. Dodgers now have 5 hits and 6 runs. Also the 3 walks that I mentioned in this inning. 4 walks total for the game for the Dodgers. One on and 3 in, and still nobody out. At the belt is Berti. Now he gets one in there in the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 to A.J. Pollock. They play him straight away. Sox have gone 6 up and 6 down. Dodgers have had base runners galore here. Swinging a foul ball right side out of play. And it's 0-2, so he's getting the ball over now.
You know, Berti, it's Tommy John surgery. It's part of baseball. It happens to so many pitchers, and there's that long road back. And you know, he was a guy who, when the White Sox drafted him, the talk was this could be a future closer for the White Sox.
Yeah.
He had the stuff, you know, and now he's trying to battle back and, you know, become a pitcher, the pitcher that he would hope to be, and get a spot, a crack on the Major League roster. But this is going to set him back.
That pitch low, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Pollock. Berti looking in for the sign from Jonathan Lucroy. A swing and a miss. Get him a favor there. Outside pitch.
97 miles per hour on that one. So we've got an out.
That was a gift. So 1 up, 1 out, and 1 on, 3 in for Austin Barnes, who walked his first time up. White Sox defensively, Aloy in left, Robert in center, Eaton in right. Moncada, Anderson, Madrigal, and Abreu, the infield from 3rd to 1st. On a gorgeous day for baseball, swinging a pop up. May get out of play. Let's see if they have a play. LaCroix over there, but it is out of play into the stands. Once again, a beautiful, beautiful day. And light breeze blowing here, very comfortable. Except for the score. The score's not comfortable.
No. Good thing is it doesn't count. But
Yeah.
we were talking yesterday, you know, at some point, you know, La Russa has said that he wants to create a winning atmosphere, and you can't just have a light switch turn on opening day and there's the winning atmosphere. He wants to start winning some games here in spring training. Now, you know, you were starting a guy in Mike Wright who's trying to get a spot on the roster.
Swinging a high pop-up. Will this stay one in? Abreu looking up in the sky, and he makes the grab. So 2 outs. That's in foul territory. So Berti settles down after a rough start here and gets a strikeout in the pop-up for Matt Beatty, who singled his first time up.
You know who's improved a lot defensively is Jose Abreu. You know, he struggled out at that position when he first came up, and he really, really has worked on his defense to the point where, I mean, the metrics may not back it all up, but
no, you're right.
The eye test for me, watching him last year especially, he's improved immensely out there at first base.
We did a feature on him 2 years ago, and I interviewed McEwing on him, and of course Jose too, swinging a high pop foul out of play for Beatty. You know, McEwing worked on his footwork, Chuck. He was he played third base in Cuba, so he moved him over to first. He put him back at third. He kind of made the difference between the two, and Jose told me it did a world of good. In fact, 2 years ago, I interviewed him after the end of the season. I said, "Is this your best defensive year?" And he said, "By far." He said, "I made big strides," and he was very prideful about it. He works hard. He's a hard worker.
Yes, he is. He lost some weight a few years ago, and I think that has made him lighter on the field, lighter on his feet, more mobile. And one thing he's really good at is the double play that starts with that hard grounder to him. That throw to second base, you have to be so accurate. And time and time again, he fires that in there to usually Tim Anderson at short, and they get the double play.
Yeah, he's definitely an asset at first base. He can pick him up and mix in the dirt and everything. He does it all. Very underrated. People, of course, they look at his bat first thing, but he's a good defensive player. 0-2 the count. Swinging a shot, but it's going to be caught on a leaping grab. Soft liner, but Tim Anderson went high in the sky to grab and for the out. So Bernie settles down and gets the last three, but the Dodgers on the 3-run shot by Corey Seager plate 3 more at the end of 2 here in Glendale. Dodgers 6, White Sox nothing.
Insider today for sweepstakes, special offers, the Friday 5, pre-sales and other exciting White Sox content delivered free to your inbox. Visit whitesox.com/email today. Chuck Garfien here with Rich King, and we need some offense. I said when the broadcast began, they're going to score more than 0.
We got 0 yesterday and a 1-0 loss to the Rockies, and so far Sox are going after the first couple of pitches. They made some quick outs here. Let's see what happens here against Urias in the third as Adam Eaton stands in. Adam 3 for 8 so far in the camp games and 2 RBIs. Left-hander facing a left-hander. There you see the score, 6-0 on the board for the Dodgers. Strike is called, and so 1-1 to Adam. Jonathan Lucroy and Nick Madrigal making his spring debut. Will bat in the third spot here in the third inning. Julio Urias at the belt. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2 on Lucroy. Urias is 6 feet. He's listed as 225 pounds. A lot of power in those legs. This 24-year-old out of Mexico.
The Dodgers with a big-time shift on Adam Eaton.
Strike is called. Faked the bunt, took the pitch.
And Adam doesn't agree with it. He was stunned as it crossed the plate and he saw the called third strike.
There it is again. Let's see. Let's umpire this one, Chuck. You can make the call on this one.
Well, I don't. You know, it helps. It helps when you've got the box. We've been spoiled as fans. What did you think?
It was a bit high.
It was a bit high.
Yeah, it was a bit high. But you know, it's spring training, and nobody's going to not argue too much. Although it might have been high.
It might have been high and outside.
Players don't. I don't care if it's spring training or not. He didn't like the call. There's a pitch that's outside to Lucroy. He was 3 out of 4 in the camp so far. No RBIs.
And Urias, you know, he's got that 0-2 count. He's thinking, okay, let's try this.
Yeah.
I got him 0-2. See what happens.
That was a floater of some kind. 6-0 Dodgers lead here. Strike is called. You know, you talk about exhibition games. I got a funny story for you. I covered an NBA All-Star weekend one year, and they had an old-timers game. And Rick Barry was among the guys in the old-timers game. Of course, I was covering the Bulls. Some Bulls players were there. Urias on the hill. Here it comes. Curve in there for a strike, slider. And it's 2-1-2. Anyway, make a long story short, they had this old-timers game. They're having fun out there. Well, the last play, the game was tied. Rick Barry went up for a shot, or they were down by a point, I think, and he got fouled. And the referee didn't call the foul. So no big deal. So I went in there's a pitch outside. I went in the locker room after the game to get some of the Bulls players, and Rick Barry's standing with a bunch of reporters around him, and he's angry as can be. And he says, that ref's stupid. It's an exhibition game.
An old-timers exhibition
Old-timers exhibition game. That shows you athletes of all kind of care. If they're old, young, playing out, they're very competitive.
I mean, that referee, they might have just pulled him out of a gym down the street.
Exactly.
Hey, you want to ref this?
I don't care
game?
if it's an exhibition game. He blew the call.
That's awesome.
2-2. I played Tony La Russa in racquetball in Boston. When I
Hold on, stop the press.
Doing the games years ago.
You played racquetball against Tony La Russa.
Yeah, and you talk about competitive. I got wiped off the court. 6-0. There's a swing and a foul. I think the score was 21-3. I think I got 3 points.
Okay,
I thought I was a good player.
What year is this?
80, 81, probably 80, 81, probably somewhere in there. We had a day off in Boston. And anytime you play again, I played against guys, athletes who were cut, from the old neighborhood. And one guy played for the Pistons, got cut. These guys are so fast, Chuck, and so good that the average, you think you're good at something, but these guys are way ahead of us.
And the eye-hand coordination.
Light years ahead of us.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopper towards short. Seager one-hands it and makes the easy toss to first. LaCroix an easy out.
Do you think Tony La Russa to this day tells the story about the time he played racquetball with Rich King?
I'm sure he forgot. It's a long time ago. I kept in contact with him, though. He used to come in with the Cardinals, in the Cubs. I used to go in the locker room and chat with him a little bit, keep in touch with his family. Tony's a great guy. I mean, you couldn't ask for a finer human being and a more intelligent human being than Tony La Russa. And back then, I was saying this yesterday, we had a very loose club. There was a lot of fun in that club in 80 and 81, even though Sox didn't win.
But starting in 81, they started getting better.
Yeah, they did.
All right, Nick Madrigal making his Cactus League debut.
Yeah. First at bat here, of course, had the shoulder surgery, and he's ready to go. Facing Urias, who's knocked 8 in a row down here, and they start the game. Breaking pitch in there for a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
So it is spring training, but Urias, he's got his regular season stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is the kind of day where he'd probably say, can I go a few more innings? I got my good stuff. I don't want to waste it. But they're probably thinking, no, don't waste it for it's a spring training game.
Madrigal sends one on the right field side, and it is out of play. Yeah, this he looks really good. He's mixing everything up. Good breaking stuff. Good fastball, of course. We mentioned he's 97 miles an hour.
And usually, when the hitters come in here, the pitchers are usually ahead of the hitters. At some point in spring training, it evens out. When someone like this is coming to the mound, as we've reached we're like a week into games, he's going to own most of these hitters with this kind of stuff.
Swinging a chopper, Urias off the hill, gloves it, throws the first, and Madrigal hustling down the line is cut down. So 1-3 to ends the inning. 9 up and 9 down for the White Sox. We played 2.5. Dodgers on top, 6-0.
Hey, White Sox fans, suit up for a brand new season at MLBshop.com. Check out new 2021 gear and shop the largest selection of official caps, T-shirts, hoodies, collectibles, and more. Gear up with the White Sox at MLBshop.com. And we have a new pitcher on the mound, a guy who is familiar with this area, former ASU pitcher Ryan Burr.
Ryan Burr, a couple of years ago, made this club opening day roster and got injured. Back here for a new start with the White Sox as he faces Matt Beatty to start the third. The Sox have 9 up, 9 down. Dodgers have 6 runs on the board.
Yeah, so Burr was an up-and-comer in 2019. Out of the pen, got hurt, needed Tommy John surgery, missed all of last season. And here he is. And that's, a common theme. Birdie was coming back from Tommy John.
Yep.
Or is coming back, although that was a few years ago. And now here's Ryan Burr.
Well, you hate to see it. He was so thrilled. We interviewed him, of course, when he made the club. And down there in the locker room. He's so happy, and then the injury. You hate to see that for anybody. 2-0 the count, and it's up high. More White Sox pitchers struggling with the control today. Dodgers had 3 walks in the previous inning, 1 in the first.
I think Burr wanted that last one.
4 walks.
That was close.
3-0 on Beatty. There's the pitch. Strike is called. Got that one in there.
I think that was a makeup call.
Well, good enough. 3 balls and 1 strike on Matt Beatty. Edwin Rios will be next, and then Zach McKinstry for the Dodgers. Bottom end of the order here in the 3rd. Here it comes. Swing and a chop foul, but gets behind the catcher, Jonathan LaCroix.
Yes, so Burr went to ASU.
Yep.
Finished his career with a school record 38 saves for his career.
He's got a fastball, mainly 60%, and slider 21% of his repertoire. 3-2 count here on Beatty. As the big right-hander throws it. High pop fly, left field. Eli looks up at that high sky here in Arizona and one-hands it for the out.
All right, so you were talking about playing racquetball with Tony La Russa. Racquetball was big in the 80s.
It was.
It's kind of lost its way.
Brutal sport.
Brutal sport.
It is. Your legs, I had bone spurs on and bad arms, shoulder problems.
I don't know why someone even created that. Why would you create a sport where you're in a confined space with walls around
against
you?
Walls. Hard surface.
And you've got a ball coming at you at 100 miles per hour off a wall. Didn't seem to make sense to me then. Doesn't make sense to me now.
Here's Edwin Rios for the Dodgers. 1 out, nobody out. Yeah, it's a rugged. I had to quit that. Went to the doctor.
I think you and everybody on the planet did.
Yeah, you're better off not playing it, he said. You're going to wind up a bunch of injuries. There's a pitch outside. It sounded out, handball is different than racquetball. Handball is a little easier on the body, but tough on your hands. You swell up. But anyway, you can't. My advice: never play a professional athlete in anything. I don't care if it's ping pong, because they'll beat you. 2-0. Swinging a foul back. But Tony was when he came up. He had a rough go because a lot of the baseball establishment back then. He liked the old kind of manager, the Billy Martins and the Zimmers. And Tony was kind of a different guy, a lawyer. He was, considered an intellectual, and he didn't get a good start. But obviously, he took off from there to become a Hall of Fame manager. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike called.
So I was talking to a new coach. He's a major league instructor for the White Sox, Jerry Narron, former major league catcher, former major league manager, and we're talking about La Russa. And in 1986, he said he was talking to Gene Mauch, then the manager for the Angels in '86.
Swinging a high pop-up. Let's see what happens here. Everybody running after it. Eloy settling under it, and he gets it in fair territory for 2 outs.
So Jerry Narron asks Gene Mauch, okay, who's the best manager you've ever managed against? And he thought Mauch was going to say Sparky Anderson, someone like that. He thought he was going to say Earl Weaver, someone of that ilk, Billy Martin, if you go back to the mid-'80s.
Right.
And he said, no, the best manager I've faced is that guy in Chicago, Tony La Russa, in '86. He said that.
Well, I keep saying this on these broadcasts, not to be redundant, but he was a sabermetrics before it was sabermetrics. He was a very intelligent observer of the game and relied on a lot of stats.
And so this was obviously '86. So I asked Narron, what's the vibe like? What is Tony bringing here to this team right now? And he said he's going to put them in a position to win. He told the players that you may not understand. This is actually what Jerry has been telling the players on this White Sox team. You may not understand the opportunity you have right now to play for Tony La Russa, because down the road, you're going to look back at this opportunity you've had with La Russa in the dugout. And, that's the players are understanding already what they're getting in La Russa.
0-2 count up high to Zach McKinstry. All this stuff about handling players, players respect winning. I mean, that's what they respect. And if a guy puts them in a position to win, they're going to go along with it. And that's what you got here in Tony. His record speaks for itself. And, those of us who supported him back in those early days, you could see there was great potential in Tony, and he sure did his job. Hall of Famer. Swinging a high fly ball, deep left center. Eloy back on the track, and he hauls it down. So 3 in a row for Eloy out there. They look good out there.
Oh, he threw the ball into the crowd, and someone caught it. Nice catch by a
great.
fan.
So, 3 up, 3 down inning. How about that for the White Sox here in the third? At the end of 3, Dodgers 6, White Sox nothing.
In the Queen of Hearts raffle benefiting White Sox charities. In addition to weekly prizes, one lucky fan is going to win 50% of the total Progressive jackpot, which is just over $50,000. To purchase Queen of Heart raffle tickets, visit whitesox.com/Queen of Hearts. All right, Chuck Garfien here with Rich King, and it's time for some offense for the White Sox. Got the top of the order, and we have a new pitcher, a pitcher you would be familiar with if you've been following baseball over the last 10 years or so, David Price for the Dodgers.
Well, no respite at all for the White Sox. They had Marquez yesterday. They got Urias, and now a quality pitcher in David Price, of course, who sat out last year and is back. He did play some games with the Dodgers, though, in spring training before he sat it out, so this will not be the first time he pitched in a Dodger uniform. The regular season will be, though. Here's a pitch to Anderson as Tim leads it off for ball 1. Wholesale changes for the Dodgers. Matt Davidson at first base, the ex-White Soxer, and we'll catch up with the rest of them later on, but they have a couple of guys in there that change of position. Outside and high. 2 balls and no strikes for Price, who, let's see, he's now 35 years old out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
So in 2018, he was with the Red Sox, faced the Dodgers in the World Series.
It's a shot to third and one quick out here in the 4th.
So Price faces the Dodgers in the World Series, went 2-0, won games 2 and the decisive game 5, beat Clayton Kershaw in game 5 for the Red Sox. And now he's here with the club. He comes over in that Mookie Betts trade and doesn't play in 2020, opts out, and the Dodgers go ahead and win the World Series without him.
Yep. And he's down on the depth chart in the Dodger rotation. Quality pitcher, as David Price says. Robert fouls it off. Robert looking for a hit here. He's 6 for 11 starting, 6 for 12 now after a fly ball to right in the first time up in the first inning. Sox have gone 10 up and 10 down here against some quality pitching from the Los Angeles Dodgers, the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Breaking ball in there for a strike, slider, and it's 0-2. Jose Abreu next.
Let's see what Robert does here on an 0-2 count. And I'm curious to see what Price gives him.
Fastball, right?
Yep.
Inside.
94 miles per hour.
Yep. Good pitch, though. It was close. 1-2. Sox looking for their first hit. David Price. Swing and a miss. Fooled him on that one. So a strikeout here for Price. 2 quick outs again for Jose Abreu.
I think we need to start jinxing the Dodgers and this no-hitter thing going on, because no hits so far for the White Sox. Jose Abreu up.
Abreu 0 for 1, rolled out his first time up to short. David Price, 35 years old now. Wow. 12th year, and he fires it up high for a ball. Formerly with Tampa, of course, many years. Great years there. Won 20 games back in 2012. Won 17 at Boston back in 2016. David Price. Swinging a high pop-up foul out of play on the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jose. Light breeze blowing right to left here on a sun-kissed afternoon in the Valley of the Sun, Glendale, Arizona.
This White Sox offense is going to score a lot of runs this year. We have not really seen many runs today and yesterday. Actually, we haven't seen any. But This is just a little funk they're in right now. But
I'm not concerned.
Yeah, I'm not concerned either.
No, you're facing some good pitching here in the last couple of days. And, I think you want to peak, don't you think? Like last couple of weeks of camp, that's when you want to see these guys, not to get some contact,
But it's funny. The White Sox, this you would hate for this to happen in the regular season, but yesterday they faced Ramon Marquez, the ace of the Rockies. You got Urias today, and tomorrow it's Blake Snell.
There's a pop fly and caught out there by the second baseman in short right field. So again, White Sox go 3 up and 3 down at the end of 3.5. Dodgers 6, White Sox nothing.
Baseball past and present on the official White Sox YouTube channel, from exclusive game day footage to historic moments. We've got it all. Subscribe today at youtube.com/White Sox. I have been on this page, and there's some great classic games you can watch from start to finish, like Burley's perfect game, things like that. So after this game, check out the YouTube page, and you can watch. There's so much stuff. Interviews, great moments in Sox history. It's a lot of fun.
It's a great history, too, for this franchise. And right now, they have a new pitcher in the game. It's going to be Cody Hoyer. The rest of the lineup looks the same. I'm checking out there. It looks like everybody stays the same. The starting players are still in there for the White Sox. Hoyer making his second spring outing. Faced the Giants in Scottsdale. 1 inning in that game, 2 hits and a strikeout. Hard throwing triple-digit man, Hoyer, on the scene for the White Sox. Facing Mookie Betts. And then he takes a strike.
Hoyer had a great rookie season for the Sox. 3-0 with a 1.52 ERA, 25 strikeouts in 23 innings. This is a guy who's got closer stuff, and he's not the Sox closer, so they got some depth back there for the
way outside. Betts had a fly ball and a walk in this game. Dodgers 3 in the first, 3 in the second. Damage coming off Mike Wright and Zach Birdie in those 2 innings, each giving up 3 runs as Betts stands in here.
And this is a good test for Hoyer because he's facing the top 3 hitters on this team: Betts, Seager, Turner.
Swinging a shot foul in foul territory, first base side. And it's 1-2 on Betts. Seager and Turner, if they're still in there. Let's see in the next circle. The Dodgers made a bunch of defensive replacements in the last inning. So
Seager's there on deck, and Turner's waiting too. So they each are going to get at least one more at bat against Hoyer.
At the belt is Cody Hoyer. 1-2 pitch to Mookie Betts. Way outside, 2-2.
Betts is signed through the year 2032. 2032. He's got some stability, I think. Some
Hope I'm still here.
I do too. But I think Betts has some financial security for a little bit.
2-2 count. Here it is. Up high. 3-2.
That's a live arm that Cody Hoyer has.
It is. He can throw it. White Sox have several pitchers in that genre. Kopech going tomorrow. Last game we did last spring, Kopech had 11 pitches before it was shut down for COVID and had a pretty good inning. There's a chopper off the glove to Anderson at second. High throw, sails one, and that'll sail into the stands, I believe. Ball off Cody Hoyer's glove. Anderson tried to make the play, but the throw was no bargain, and he gets advanced to second base. That'll be an E6 base hit, I would think, an E6.
And it's a good thing that netting is there, because that ball that Tim Anderson threw would have was a hot one going into the stands if that netting wasn't there.
So the Dodgers have a runner on second. The base hit and an error on that play. First error in the ball game as Corey Seager stands in. Seager had that big 3-run homer in the second inning. There's a pitch that gets by LaCroix, and the runner advances to third base.
Seager was the MVP of not only the NLCS, but the World Series last year. Between the NLCS and World Series, he slashed 347, 439, 816. It's 7 homers and 16 RBIs. Clutch and a half.
Infield pulled in now. Nobody out. And a runner on third base. Mookie Betts. Swing and a pop-up. Out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, the Dodgers, what a history they've got. And you look at their overall record over the years, especially recently. They are 8 in a row in the division. Finally cashed in a World Series last year after not having won since 1988. Inside for a ball.
That was 97 on the gun for Hoyer.
2-1. On Corey Seager. Justin Turner would be next. Hoyer at the belt. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. So it's even at 2-2 now.
He took something off that, 89 on that pitch.
Sox trying to choke off more trouble here in the 4th inning. Already down 6-0. Here it comes outside. So the count now full on Seager. That blast-off birdie in the second was a towering shot to deep center field. It had home run written all over it the minute it left the bat. So Seager is 2 for 2. Got an infield hit in his first time up. Looking for his 4th RBI of the game with a runner on third base. Swinging a chop foul. The catcher's foot. So we've got Hoyer in the game. See, Jose Ruiz still scheduled to pitch, and Guerrero, Teheran Guerrero. 7-inning game, we're in the 4th. Here it comes. Swinging up. High heat, and they missed it. So a good strikeout there. Runner stays at third.
Got him to chase it out of the zone. La Russa said this about Cody Hoyer here. He said, I wouldn't want to catch him, and I wouldn't want to hit against him either. Yep. The ball just jumps out of his hand, and you saw that on that pitch there to Seager.
There it is right there, the old high heat. And you know what? That's how you get guys out these days. It used to be the low ball. And now, with the way things have changed in baseball, it's the upper end that gets the strikeouts. Here's Justin Turner. Walking a single for him today. Infield still pulled in. Change up, foul back. And it's 0-1 on Justin. A.J. Pollock next.
You know, Turner was a journeyman the first half of his career. He was non-tendered by the Mets in 2013. Went unsigned for a couple months. Signed with the Dodgers on a minor league contract. People forget this is a guy who's like now a Dodger icon.
I think Max Muncy too was a cast-off that developed into a bona fide star. They've done a good job. They've had a great scouting system for years, going back to their days in Brooklyn, actually. Here's the pitch. Foul back. 0-2.
Yeah, he was a free agent, signed a 2-year, $34 million contract. He's 36. 36, third baseman, no DH. 2-year contract for Justin Turner. So, but he's really such a big part of this Dodgers team, and obviously helped lead him to a World Series last year.
Let's see if Hoyer can get him. He's 0-2. Struck out Seager with a guy on third. Let's see if we can get this guy. Justin Turner ounces in. Again, a good stop. That's about the third one that LaCroix is snuffed out, saving a run there. It's the value of the catcher. They practice that endlessly. You see him in the back lots going down. Perfect block.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Try to one-hand that ball. It's going to get by. 1-2. Hoyer looking in to LaCroix. Again, a high heat got him. 2 in a row. Wow.
So he strikes out Seager and Turner, bringing up Pollock, but this gives you an idea of the stuff of Cody Hoyer. Aaron Bummer said that Hoyer has all-star closer type of potential. And
no question about it.
He's got it.
You can say that about a bunch of guys in that bullpen, including, although he's very young, is Garrett Crochet. He's got tremendous stuff. Bummer's got tremendous stuff. Right down the list. Swing and a miss by A.J. Pollock.
And so Hoyer comes in to face the best hitters in this lineup. Got the ground ball to Betts, but it went off his glove, and there was the error by Tim Anderson. But then Case Seager, Case Turner, Betts is still on third. He gets out of the inning with an out here against Pollock, and that's an impressive outing for him.
0-1 the count as Hoyer delivers. Swinging a shot to right. And the gap out there is Robert near the track. Hauls it down. So he got out of it. Infield hit, error, men on third base, and nobody out. And no runs crossed the plate. So at the end of 4 here in beautiful Glendale, it's Dodgers 6, White Sox nothing.
Hey, Sox fans, become a White Sox insider today for sweepstakes special offers, the Friday 5, pre-sales, and other exciting Sox content delivered free to your inbox. You got to sign up. Visit whitesox.com/email today. All right, we're back here at Camelback Ranch with Rich King, Chuck Garfien. You have Yoel Moncada leading off.
And a new pitcher for the Dodgers, Enny Romero, spelled E-N-N-Y. Romero, left-hander, obviously from, where is he from? 30 years old, from the Dominican Republic, is this big left-hander. And Yoan up there taking the first pitch for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Moncada 0 for 1. Sox looking for their first hit, first base runner. 6-0 Dodgers. Misses off the outside. And it's 2-0 on Moncada. Enny Romero. Pitched in Korea last year.
A lot of pitchers did.
Yep. Formerly with Tampa Bay, Washington, Pittsburgh, and Kansas City. 2 games so far in camp, an inning and a third. 1 hit, 1 run for Enny Romero.
Yeah, when the pandemic hit, guys weren't sure about what was going on here. And if they had a chance to pitch in Korea, they went over there. That's what Mike Wright did, who started the game for the White Sox.
Yep. It's good money over there, actually. I'm talking of guys who've been over there. It's not bad. 2-2.
You know, pitched there, played there. Daniel Palka went over there and played last year.
The White Sox, Roach pitched over there last year, too. The former Cub pitcher the White Sox picked up. Swinging a high pop fly into center field. And this will be out number 1. Boy, that ball's up there forever, but it's hauled down. So Moncada flies out to center. And that is 1 dead here in the 5th. For Eloy Jimenez, who is 0 for 1.
Eloy hasn't gotten started yet this spring. It's coming. I'd love for it to happen here in this at-bat. Just get a hold of one.
Well, you're done with Urias and you're done with Price. And now you got the back end of the pitching staff in there. Eloy swings and drives one to deep center field, but I think it's going to be caught against the wall out there. That ball was really carrying for a while, but wind kind of pushed it in a little bit, and it was the out. So another fly ball, and that's the second out.
He hammered this one. This is one of the best swings I've seen from him so far this spring, and at the warning track, at the wall. And here's Vaughn.
So 2 outs, 2 quick outs again. Sox going up pretty quickly today. Vaughn flied out himself the last time to right field as Romero throws ball 1. Big left-hander, Enny Romero. That's a pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
A mainly righty lineup against all these lefties the Dodgers have been throwing here today. Adam Eaton, the only lefty.
Shot to third by the third baseman in there for a base hit. That's Noisy over there at third base. He replaced Turner, and it's going to be a 2-base advance here for Vaughn.
They could give him an error, but that was hit hard enough where I believe they're going to call it a hit.
Well, we'll see shortly. That ball was drilled, but right at him.
There it is, a hit. First hit of the game.
All right.
Andrew Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen, with a shot to third. I asked Lucas Giolito about Vaughn if he thinks he's ready for the majors. Is he ready? Obviously didn't have much of a season last year, hasn't played above high A, and he said he hasn't played above high A, but he has a major league approach, major league swing. He's got power, he's got plate discipline. It's the full package. And so I point blank asked him, do you think he'll be ready? Major league ready. Is he major league ready? And he said, Giolito said, absolutely. Okay. So, and it's not just because when they faced each other in an inter-squad game last year, Giolito called Vaughn a pain in the rear.
Well, he gets a double on that play. So he's swinging a chopper by Eaton. This will end the inning. And it does. Hustling down the line, but cut down. So one hit, but nothing across for the White Sox at the end of the top of the fifth. It's still Dodgers 6, White Sox nothing.
Welcome back to beautiful Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona. The Dodgers lead the White Sox 6-0. No runs, but they do have a hit thanks to that double the previous half inning by Andrew Vaughn. So, Rich, we got a hit. Now we need some runs, but we have a new pitcher on the mound for the White Sox.
Yes, Connor Zadek, who was from Crystal Lake, Illinois, and went to Crystal Lake Central High School. 6'7", big man, non-roster invitee. 29 years old. Did not pitch last year. Appeared in 20 games in 2019 with Seattle before missing the rest of the season due to an elbow injury. So Connor Zadek, pronounced Zadek, is spelled S-A-D-Z-E-C-K. And Andy Burns is up here of the Dodgers, placing Austin Barnes. There's a swing and an easy roller, and it's out at first base for the White Sox as Jose takes it, 3 unassisted.
So Sadzik had Tommy John in 2014. He needed a second Tommy John surgery last year, had it reconstructed, missed the entire 2020 season. If you had to pick a year, yeah, you never want Tommy John surgery, but if you had to pick a year to get it, it probably would have been 2020, because what these guys always talk about, besides the rehab process and the pain of going through it, is you feel like you're missing out.
Yeah.
You're missing out, and while, you know, baseball life goes on without you, you're stuck in a facility trying to rehab yourself. Well, you know, at least in April, May, and June, while he was rehabbing, no one else was playing, but now he's back and trying to find a spot, find a role here with the White Sox.
Rangel Revelo up for the Dodgers as they made some late inning replacements. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on Revelo. Dodgers up 6-0. They have 3 in the first, 3 in the second. White Sox have used 6 pitchers now in this game. Zadek, the most recent. It is pronounced Zadzik. Well, the PA announcer had Zadek, but we say Zadzik.
We're going with Zadzik. That's what's on the baseball reference page.
Swinging a chopper in fast. It's going to be an out at first base. Nice play. They got it over there in time. Good work.
I don't know how Tim did that. I do not know how Tim made this play, because you had Yoan Moncada going in there as well, and usually this is going to cross up the player behind him. I think we'll have a replay here as Tim was able to glove this and make the throw, and Moncada was able to get out of the way. So 2 gone.
2 out, nobody on for Michael Busch. Left-hand batter for the Dodgers facing Zadzik. We're in the bottom of the 5th. A 7-inning game today. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 on Busch.
So that was 76 for Sadzik, and you know he can hit the high 90s.
Swinging a shot towards third baseman. Moncada in, and he throws him out. Shift was on, and that's it. 3 quick outs 5-3 to end it, and 3 up, 3 down for the Dodgers here in the 5th at the end of 5. It is still the Dodgers 6 and the White Sox nothing.
All right, welcome back. Camelback Ranch. Got a sellout here today. 2,310 fans, and the great news, the news so many of you have been waiting for, is that fans will be allowed back at Guaranteed Rate Field to start the season. 20% approximately to begin. The city announced it today. The White Sox did as well. So you can go to whitesox.com about getting tickets. It's going to be on a limited basis to start, and then you hope the numbers continue to improve with the pandemic in Chicago, and more fans will be allowed in the stadium.
New pitcher for the Dodgers here as the White Sox bat in the 6th. Jonathan LaCroix comes in. It's on the hill. Bobby Miller from Elk Grove Village fires it inside.
Got 3 local boys pitching here today. Birdie, Sadzik, and Miller.
He had 2 stops back in 2019 in the minors, Great Lakes and Rancho Cucamonga. And he was 11-2 that year. Very impressive, 3.28 for Bobby Miller.
All right, so Lucroy has played for 7 teams in his 11-year Major League career. He's made the playoffs with 4 of those teams. So when a guy who's been to the playoffs that many times with different teams, when he says stuff in spring training about a team he's playing for, it carries some weight with me. So he was speaking with the media the other day, and he's talking about the talent on this White Sox team, and he said, I think this is going to be a special year for this White Sox team. Now, okay, they've got no runs on 1 hit in this particular spring training game, which is not, a reflection on the team, a good reflection on the team, but this is just, it is what it is. But, I think I agree with them. This has a chance to be something special here.
No question about that. 3-1 count on LaCroix. They are wired to go the distance this year. Strike called in there, 3-2. But again, as you point out every year, baseball is a strange game, and La Russa and the brass knows it. You just hope no injuries. You hope things fall into place. Go back to 2005 when everything fell into place. That's the kind of year you need. You need no injuries and a little bit of luck. And there's a ball to LaCroix.
I think that Lucroy signing right before spring training, that's, there's a catcher battle between Lucroy and Mercedes Collins. You got Sebi Zavala as well. Lucroy hasn't been able to stay healthy. So they've got a laser focus on what he's doing both defensively and at the plate. I think he's coming out of the, he's pinch runner for Lucroy. And so, we'll see how this all shakes out. But, if he's healthy and he's anything like, 80% of what he was in his best years, that's a great pickup for the White Sox.
I think he'll be there. He's shown today. Here's a pitch inside for Madrigal. And 0-for-1 for him. Matt Reynolds, the pinch runner at first base for LaCroix. 1 ball and no strikes on Madrigal. Outside. Well, LaCroix's shown a lot today. Even the first time we've seen him, of course, I've seen him in camp. And 3 great stops behind the plate. You can't overlook that because you save the run, save one guy from advancing. Those things are important in the course of a game, and managers appreciate that when defensive ability means a whole lot when behind that plate. There's a strike called. Inside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike on Madrigal.
So what Nick needs here is he needs to get another strike here, because that's when he's going to have him right where he wants him. Because with 2 strikes last year, Nick Madrigal batted an impossible .321. You don't do that. Like Mike Trout. How about this? On an 0-2 count.
They fought that one off to third. Out at second, and he's out at first. That was a tough deal because he fell down in the box, couldn't get up, and they got the easy double play around the horn, 5-4-3.
Yeah, he fell right out of the box, so an easy double play for the Dodgers. We'll look at it again here. He just lost his balance. It's been one of those days offensively for the White Sox.
Pitch ate him up, and had no chance to get down there in any kind of decent time. 2 out, nobody on now for Anderson. Breaking pitch, a little bit low. You know, Madrigal, boy, he's talking about 3,000 hits, right?
Yes. So.
Get his career.
Yeah. He came on the White Sox Talk podcast in January, and he was talking about. Well, actually, I brought up Nellie Fox. I go, you could be. Like the career like the best career you could have, or a career I'd like to see for yourself would be like Nellie Fox, second baseman, tons of hits.
2,400,
something like that. Yeah. And so Nick goes, no, I want 3,000. I think that's a doable number for me, 3,000 hits. And he was serious. And even though he realizes, okay, you get 3,000 hits, you're going to the Hall of Fame. But that gives you an idea of how Nick Madrigal thinks for himself. And the Sox players heard him say that.
Shot to third, gobbled up, and nice throw across for the out by Noisy. And tough play earlier for him, but he makes the amends with that one. So a 5-3 ends the inning. So the White Sox again fail in the sixth. And again, nothing across. So at the end of 5.5, it's still Dodgers 6 and the White Sox nothing.
And I'll talk a little bit about Madrigal and the 3,000 hits when we come back.
All right.
Back, and we have a whole bunch of changes here as the White Sox are trailing 6-0 as we've reached the bottom of the sixth inning. We're going 7 innings today. White Sox and Dodgers share this spring training facility. The home team is the Dodgers. You want to begin with the changes there, Rich?
Yeah, I think we, of course, Jose Ruiz is pitching number 1.
Yes.
Reynolds stays in the game at short. Marco Hernandez, and then Carlos Perez is catching. Hernandez at short. So checking the outfield, we see Eloy still out there. Luis, let's see, right field.
That's Adam Eaton in right.
Eaton, okay, Jose at first, and
you got Carlos Perez behind the plate. Yep. And if you don't know much about him, he's was in high A in 2019, and he's been getting a lot of props from the coaching staff. I've heard it from Tony La Russa. And I was talking to Jerry Narin, Major League instructors, working with the catchers. And he says Perez is a very well-rounded catcher. La Russa says he'll eventually play in the majors. So someone to watch behind the plate right now for the White Sox.
And this is old friend Matt Davidson up, former White Sox slugger. Fouls one off. 0-2 on Matt. Came in the game a couple innings ago. Bottom of the sixth. Dodgers up 6-0. All the damage done early in this one. 3 in the first, 3 in the second. The big blow in the second, a bomb by Corey Seager, a 3-run shot off Zach Birdie. 6-0 Dodgers. Sox have 1 hit outside from Jose.
So Matt Davidson traded to the White Sox from the Arizona Diamondbacks for Addison Reed back in 2013. It was the first-round pick of the D-backs.
He had a pretty good go here. A couple of decent years. One big game in Kansas City opening day.
Yes. The whole team had a big game. I think they had 7 home runs.
Yeah. Good guy. Inside. That hit him? Yes, it did. It got him. So Davidson gets on board. The head batsman. Lead off the Dodgers 6th.
Yeah, you brought up a memory of mine. March 29th, 2018. White Sox at the Royals, and Matt Davidson with 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. He was on pace for, let's see, what's 162 times 3? About 400 home runs.
Yeah, 450 home runs. Here's James Outman. Outman. Not a good name for a hitter. Outman.
Yeah.
Takes a strike.
Despite the name Outman, he has made it to
the big show.
The big show.
That's right.
He's not in the majors yet, but he should have been a pitcher.
That's right.
He should have been a pitcher. I don't know what happened, but
it would have worked better that way.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to write a Hollywood script about a pitcher, I'd want his name to be James Outman. He wouldn't be a hitter.
He's in there at 1 ball and 1 strike to Jose Ruiz.
Like, James should change his name to Hitman. James Hitman.
Ruiz, a former catcher. This story on him. Last couple of years have helped him to be a pretty good reliever for the White Sox. 3rd outing in the spring for him. Last outing against Seattle, 2/3, give up a run on 3 hits. Before that, Texas, 1 scoreless. Big right-hander. Made the transition successfully to the hill. Inside and low. 3 balls and 1 strike to James Outman.
So Reese pitched 4 innings last year for the White Sox. Gave up a run, no walks, 5 strikeouts. He's got gas. A lot of these White Sox pitchers can throw the heat.
But that one misses, so hit a man, walked a man, and the Dodgers again. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Sheldon Noisy, the third baseman. Came in the game a couple innings ago. We're batting in Mookie Betts' spot in the order. Betts, for his afternoon, an infield hit, a walk, and a flyout. For the star right fielder for the Los Angeles Dodgers. First team to wear batting helmets, this team, back in 1941.
Really?
Yeah. Among the many firsts. Of course, they had the first black player in Major League Baseball, well documented.
All right, so they start wearing the helmets.
Back in 1941.
How soon after that did the second team decide, you know what?
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Let's
yeah.
put some helmets on.
Dodgers, the first team to have uniforms in their numbers back in 1952. I'm sorry, that can't be right. There's a swing and a base hit for Noisy. That's in there for a gapper, and the runner will go to third. 1-1 will score. 1 in, and the Dodgers take a 7-0 lead now as Sheldon Noisy bats one in to right field, and it scores the 7th Dodger run. 7-0 as Ryan Noda steps in. N-O-D-A, Ryan Noda.
You know, Davidson, who was on base, scored. He's, you know, I give him a lot of credit to stay in the game, trying to stay around. He did get 43 at-bats with the Reds in 2020, hit 3 home runs. He always had the power potential and the pitching potential. He wanted to pitch. He was a great pitcher in high school, great pitcher, one of the best in the state of California.
So the Dodgers, after getting 3 in the first, 3 in the second, add 1 more here in the 6th to make it 7-zip as Ryan Noda stands in first and third. Swinging a foul. That's just Outman raced to third on that play, so Outman is on third, Noisy's on first, and Ryan Noda is up. These spring training games bring out the best in the broadcasting booth. Trying to keep track of these.
And the fans, that ball landed in someone's lap.
Swinging a foul back.
Now that's an error on a Dodgers fan who should have caught it, and he dropped it. So does that count?
2 errors.
Can we give an error to the Dodgers for that miss by a fan?
1-2 count here on Noda. First and third, nobody out. 1 run in here in the 6th. Here's the pitch up high. Now this game is a 7-0 game. If it stays this way, will the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the 7th?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I think the Dodgers would say we're good.
Okay. All right. Because they can do it, right? I mean, that's part of the rules. Or the
is it
changes.
Is it? I mean,
I saw that earlier in the game on TV. Yeah, even if you're winning, because you need the work, or the pitchers need the work, whatever, they let it go 1 more. We'll see. I kind of agree with you. I don't think they'll do it, but because they've got a lot, most of their pitchers in. They got, let's see, they use Miller. They've got Nick Robertson scheduled and James Pato scheduled. So they got 2 more pitchers to work.
When do we go to 8 innings?
We got 9 tomorrow against the Padres. Tomorrow? Yeah. 9.
Okay, I mean, and tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Today hasn't been that great. Tomorrow, first off, you get a major upgrade. Len Casper is in here for me. You get Lance Lynn on the mound against Blake Snell. So everybody, life's getting a lot better tomorrow on this webcast.
Well, you got Kopech pitching tomorrow, so.
Oh yeah, Kopech.
The Padres
Hendricks,
in here, one of the best teams in baseball, two of the best teams in baseball.
Garrett Crochet pitching tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on the broadcast. I think it's going to be great tomorrow.
There's a strike call. He got him.
That was a great pitch, Jose Ruiz, right there. He didn't like the call. Said something for the home plate umpire that probably isn't rated G. But he's not happy about spring training. That was a vicious pitch. It could have gone either way, but that was nice. That was the highlight for me for today so far for Jose Ruiz.
He got him out with a man on third base. Now 1 out for Jacob Amaya, who faces Ruiz. Nice pitch on the inside corner. And it's 0-1 to Jacob Amaya. The Dodgers are the first team to have a female reporter in their locker room back in 1974. Among the first for this franchise. Largest single game record in attendance. You know what year that was? 1959.
59. They played the World Series against the White Sox at LA Coliseum.
93,103 for that.
Was it a World Series game or was it a
World Series game? Swing and a miss. Most no-hitters in baseball, this franchise, 26.
Well, it helps when you have Sandy Koufax.
Yep. First team to draw 3 million fans, the Dodgers. Among the many firsts on this venerable franchise, which goes back to Brooklyn. There's a blooper in the right field for a base hit. That'll score a run. As Jacob Amaya gets the RBI and the base hit to right. Hunter moves up to second base. And Dodgers get 2 more here in the inning, so it's now 8-0.
This Dodgers farm system really strong. So when it gets to the late innings and they make some replacements, you're going to see some talent coming up here like Amaya. And here's Berman.
Stevie Berman steps in. Catcher by trade. 2 on, 1 out, 2 in.
I was talking about Carlos Perez, the catcher brought in to replace Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy's fine. Just his day is done. Perez has been a part of this organization since 2014 when he was 17 years old.
Wow.
So he's been in this organization for a while. 2019 was at Winston-Salem. And 2018 in Kannapolis.
Strike call, 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Jose Ruiz. Trying to get out of this jam in the 6th. Swinging a chopper foul. So let's see. The Sox have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers in this game. Wright, Kubat, Birdie, Hoyer, Burr, Zadzik, and now Ruiz. That's an afternoon work. That's a ball.
Urias started for the Dodgers, goes 3 innings, 1 strikeout, no hits. Price threw an inning for the Dodgers. He's going to be a reliever. David Price. There's no room in this rotation for David Price.
That's right. That's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Stevie Berman. And he swings and misses. Good work by Ruiz. 2nd strikeout in the inning.
And that's the thing with Ruiz. You know, he's got good stuff. He can get the strikeouts, but you got to limit damage. And, you know, there have been at times he's done the job and looks like a real great weapon for this White Sox bullpen.
Andy Burns steps in. 2 out now and 2 on. Burns' 2nd at bat in the game. Rolled out the first time up the first. Strike is called. Damage coming off early for the Dodgers. 3 off Wright. And then the big blow by Seager. A 3-run shot off Zach Birdie in the 2nd. Dodgers had 2 more here in the 6th. Bounces in. 1 ball, 1 strike on Andy Burns. Again, we have the game for you tomorrow again on the webcast. 2 o'clock Chicago time. Hope you tune in. Should be a good one. A lot of front line players in that one. 1 ball, 1 strike as Jose delivers. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Yeah, I think the Padres will look at that lineup, or not the lineup. They're going to look at the pitchers going for the White Sox.
Yeah.
And they're going to be getting ready for some heat.
Strike is called. Nice comeback by Jose. He strikes out the side, but the Dodgers get 2 more on 2 hits in strand 2. We have played 6 full here in Glendale. Dodgers 8, White Sox nothing.
All right, top of the 7th inning. The White Sox held to no runs on 1 hit, a double for Andrew Vaughn, looking to get something on the board here with Luis Robert leading off for the White Sox. Rich?
Well, discussion going on. Tony was out there talking to the home plate umpire. Now Dave Roberts involved, and now they're signaling back and forth. I think it's something to do, obviously, with the extension of this game. It's a scheduled 7-inning game. Let's see, the White Sox. James Patos is coming in, by the way, for the Dodgers. They've got 1 more pitcher listed on their list, Nick Robertson, and Tayron Guerrero is listed on the White Sox list, and we'll see what happens. But they were talking about something. I have no idea what it was, but they were going back and forth. So we'll see what happens. Well, it might
be about, do we play a bottom of the 7th inning?
Yep.
And there is a pitcher warming up for the White Sox. So if you just go on that, they might be thinking, hey, if you guys, La Russa might have said to Roberts, I got another guy who can use some work.
Sure.
If you want to continue playing in the bottom of the 7th, despite you guys leading, I'm fine with that.
Yep. Here's Luis Robert, 0 for 2. As James Patos comes in, 29 years old, Gilbert, Arizona native. 2 games in the spring so far, 1 2/3 total, 1 hit, 1 run for the left-hander. Another left-hander in there for the Dodgers to face Luis Robert. Socked with the same guys in the game late, Robert and Jose in the on-deck circle. Swinging a foul back.
You know, they've been facing a lot of lefties. You normally, as a right-handed hitter, you want the righty-lefty matchup. And yet, the Dodgers have owned the Sox bats so far today.
Two and 1 count on Luis. Here it is. So we're going to chop toward third, a foul ball. Grabbed by Sheldon Noisy. Throws it into the crowd over the screen. And who grabs it? No. Mad scramble is on. All right. 8-0 LA. Jose Abreu would be next.
He's on deck. I mean, they're keeping all their regulars in there except for LaCroix.
Yep.
Lucroy. Oh, and Tim Anderson's out.
Yeah, Reynolds at short.
No, it's actually Anderson right now is listed as the DH.
Right.
So he might, you know, if it turns back around, all the way around, if they have a big inning, you might see Tim Anderson.
Yeah. Marco Hernandez in the game at short. So a few changes, not many though for the White Sox. Dodgers had wholesale changes. Full count. Shot, caught. 1 out. Line shot to second by Robert. He's 0 for 3.
Not a ton of hard contact here today. You've got that hit there by Luis Robert. Eloy Jimenez hit it to the wall. Andrew Vaughn with the double.
Yeah, Vaughn ball was hit hard, but it might have been fielded. That was a.
This was almost a no-hitter.
Yeah.
This was almost a no-hitter today. But we'll still got 2 more outs left.
That ball was playable, but they gave him a double, which is good for Andrew. All right, Jose Abreu, nothing out of 2. A ground ball to short and a pop up to second. As Patos delivers. Taking the ball inside for ball 1. Dodgers have 8 hits. The White Sox that 1 hit. Sox have the only error in the game, and a throw by Tim Anderson. And 1 caught on the on-deck circle. So swing and a miss by Jose. So Tony going with the regulars pretty much all the way here. And again, they may play even though this game is 8-0 Dodgers, they may play the bottom of the 7th inning. Discussion between Tony and the umpires, and then Dave Roberts
You know, this might be La Russa saying, you know what, you guys need some at-bats. You know, the offense isn't clicking clearly.
Yeah.
Keep them in.
Outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Abreu.
You know, I'm sure someone in the media might ask La Russa after the game. You know, normally you see a lot more veterans coming out of a game at this point in spring training, but that's not the case here today.
Well, we're 9 games in, not too far in the schedule. There's a strike called. So if this team doesn't hit, it'll be the biggest surprise of the century.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about the offense, but
I don't think
there's peaks and valleys, and even the best offenses. I mean, this was one of the best offenses in baseball last year. They're going to get hitting, but the bats aren't here yet today.
2-2 count.
Oh.
Inside, backs him up a little bit, and it's 3-2. Yeah, Sox lost yesterday 1-0.
You know, I said at the start of the webcast, I've got a good feeling the Sox are going to score more than 0.
Well, there you go.
Here we are.
There you go. Yep.
Got 2 outs left, no runs yet.
Full count. Here it is. Swinging a shot towards second. Scooped up on the grass, and he is out. While trying to get through, couldn't do it. So there's 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th for Moncada, who's 0 for 2. Let's see, yesterday, Vaughn had a hit yesterday. Moncada had a double, a well-hit ball.
They only had, what, 4 hits yesterday?
4 hits yesterday. Infield hit for Anderson, so not much going on offensively in the last couple of games, although they scored 7 runs in a big game in Goodyear.
I wish I would have called that game.
I was there for that game.
Can I have that Goodyear game?
Glad I saw it. Mercedes had a big double off the wall to drive in 3. Robert had a couple of hits in that game. As Moncada is in there at 0-1. James Patos fires outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So I guess Tehran Guerrero, if they do play the bottom of the 7th, will be in there to get some work.
He's still throwing. So this game might continue.
All right, 1-1. Here it is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Yoan, who's looking for a bounce back year after battling COVID last year.
Yeah, he looks so much more like himself. He's got the energy back, and I'm expecting a bounce back year for Moncada in 2021.
Swing and a miss. 82 miles an hour on that changeup. So, 2-2 count. 8-0 Dodgers in the 7th. 2-2. Swinging a chopper. This could get in there for a base hit. Off the hill is Patos, but he doesn't have a play. There's your hit. We'll take anything we get right now. Infield hit for Moncada.
And Moncada was racing down the line. He did not want this game to be ending on that, so he was running hard.
And he'll be out of the game, I believe, right?
Yep.
Pinch runner. That ball had, Patos had no chance on that one. That ball was perfect, almost like a bunt. Here's Eloy. Eloy's 0 for 2, although he did hit one to the warning track the last time up in the 5th inning. Swinging a shot to right. How about this? A base hit for Eloy. And the pinch runner stops at second base, and we have 2 on.
Yeah, in normal spring training games, I mean, I'm trying to use my memory here, but I can't recall. Now, we're only going 7 innings, but I think maybe the plan all along was let's get these guys 3 at-bats. And because the Sox weren't hitting, Jimenez, Abreu, Moncada didn't get their 3rd at-bat and here until the 7th inning. And that's why they were still in the game.
Okay, here's Carlos Perez. Talked about him earlier, and Luis Gonzalez running at first base for Eloy.
Although actually it's Andrew Vaughn.
Oh, Vaughn, okay.
The scoreboard said it was Perez, but
Okay,
Vaughn's
I looked
in
up
there.
at the scoreboard and looked down, and it was Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn is at that double that I mentioned earlier, was shot to third that the official score gave him a double on. I'm wondering, you know, you can bring the guys back in the game too, can't you? And I don't think that. It's really loosey.
I mean, I know it's loose. I don't think it's that
Maybe
loose.
Perez was in there.
Well, there might have been a double switch that we're not familiar with.
Yeah. I think I read that too, where you could bring guys back in.
Well, that's just chaos, Rich King.
Well,
that's just chaos.
Well, you know what? That's why we're here. We're here to manage managing the chaos. That's our jobs.
Well, Eaton is on deck.
Written down Carlos.
That's
Perez.
all we know.
Yeah, just have to.
Vaughn up now and Eaton on
You have to
deck.
pay close attention. You can't glance up at the scoreboard in this game. They're confused as we are. 2-1. Here it is. Chopped foul. So the White Sox suddenly have 3 hits in the game. And trying to get the poke across the run here.
You know, Vaughn has been given this opportunity to be the starting DH. And La Russa told him before spring training, he said, hey, you got to earn it. Got to earn it.
Yep.
And so far he's been playing like he might just earn it.
Swing at a high heat, and he missed it. So Panos gets out of it after giving up a couple of hits. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. And let's see what's going to happen here.
Well, the umpires aren't going anywhere, so I believe we're going to have a bottom of the 7th coming up.
All right, let's take a pause here. After 6.5, the Dodgers leading 8-0 coming up here. One more shot. Sox baseball as we hit for the bottom of the 7th, even though the Dodgers have an 8-0 lead because of these spring training new rules. The game extended here. The Dodgers will have one more at bat facing Teheran Guerrero. So Tony obviously wants to get an inning in for Teheran here. And a lot of changes for the White Sox. Gavin Sheets at first, Nick Williams in left, and Luis Gonzalez stays in the game in right field as we play the bottom of the 7th inning, and Dodgers leading 8-0. Teheran Guerrero on the slab for the White Sox.
So Guerrero is an interesting player in that he is going to throw it hard. You know that. He averaged almost 99 miles per hour on his four-seam fastball with the Marlins in 2019. Threw the second most 100-mile-per-hour pitches that year of any pitcher in baseball, 178 of them. That was 96, the first one he threw there. So he can strike you out. But control has been an issue for him. He had 43 strikeouts in 2019, 36 walks.
And Ravelo up for the Dodgers as we play the bottom of the 7th, 0-2 count. Guerrero has worked in 3 games now, his 3rd outing. Last time against Seattle, a 1 inning, 3 hits, no runs. And before that against the Angels, and he had a scoreless inning in that game. Teheran Guerrero. Swing and a foul back from Ravelo.
And that was 99. And it looks effortless coming out of his hand. I mean, that was an easy 99 he just threw.
One of the many White Sox hard throwers, Guerrero is. Final White Sox pitcher. That's the 8th one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Swinging a chopper toward short. This will be an easy out. And there's 1 gone. 6-3 for Ravelo.
Let's see if he hits 100.
Yeah.
You know, Kopech, when he was here, that 1 inning that he threw last year, hit 100, 101 on that scoreboard. And we're going to see him here tomorrow against the Padres. That's going to be a big moment for him, for sure.
Michael Busch up for the Dodgers. 1 out, nobody on. Straight away, and for the White Sox defense on him, as Guerrero fires it high for a ball. Ball 1. There you see the Score 8-0. The Dodgers all the way in this one, wire to wire. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the sixth. There's a strike called on the inside corner.
I think he's liking the fastball today. Nothing but fastballs.
Well, Guerrero throws 80% fastballs, Chuck, and 20% sliders, according to Fangraph. And he delivers. Swing and a miss.
And so far, 100% fastballs. That was a 98.
Why not? Loosen things up in camp here. Get that arm going. Michael Busch stands in the hole, 1-2. As Guerrero looks in and throws. A swing and a miss. He got him.
Perez overthrew his infielder. The balls, they got to work on that. Spring training, got to work throwing the ball around the horn after a strikeout.
Zach Remillard, I believe, out there.
Yeah.
So 2 outs here. Nice job by Guerrero. Good thing they extended this game for him. So far, so good. As big Matt Davidson, the ex-White Sox slugger, stands in. Davidson 0 for 1. Rolled out the third his first time up.
I think this is going to be a fastball. Feels like a fastball here.
You're guessing. Oh,
Oh,
it wasn't.
look
See,
at
there
that.
you go. There you go. He changed up on you. 1-0.
Perez behind the plate, sneaky. With those 3 straight fastballs to Busch. Davidson thinking, okay, here comes the heat. Oh, no.
Here we go. That's a ball. 2-0 to Matt. Again, we have the game for you tomorrow. 2 o'clock Chicago time, 1 o'clock here. The San Diego Padres, who are expected to really battle it out with the Dodgers. 2 great teams in that Western Division in the National League. Swinging a foul back. Should be a good rivalry over the years with these teams poised to make a good run.
Yeah, the Padres are making it interesting. All the moves they made to their rotation. And they've seen what the Dodgers have done. They are obviously the World Series champions from 2020. And the Padres have their window open, so they're doing everything they can to stay with the Dodgers.
2-1 the count here on Matt. Swing and a miss. Did you see the average Bauer? Machado's average against Manny Machado, seeing like 500 against Bauer as times he's faced him.
Really?
Yeah.
He's got his number.
Yeah.
All right, so 2-2. Could this be off speed?
2-2 count on Matt Davidson. 2 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. Outside with that one.
Hit 99.
99. He does make it look effortless. His motion is really nice and smooth.
But he's going to need an out pitch here.
3-2.
Limiting those walks, that's the thing for Guerrero.
Yep. Here's his. Swinging up. Sawed him off. Pop up to second. That should do it. And it's final out of the inning, but 3 up and 3 down. Ends the ball game. Pop fly to second. Dodgers failed to score in the 7th, and that's going to be it, right? Let's check the managers. Yeah, that's it. No more innings in this game. And the final total is Dodgers 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors. White Sox no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Again, recapping this one, Chuck, your thoughts. Obviously not much to talk about offensively, and not much to talk about on the hill either.
No, this was one you want to wash down the drain. It was not a great spring training game for the White Sox, especially coming off yesterday when they didn't score a run. So that's 2 straight spring training games with nada. But the offense has looked good here in spring training, just not the last 2 days with me in the booth. So tomorrow you got Len Casper with you. I feel the runs are coming back against the Padres.
You've done 2 games and they haven't scored a run.
No.
All right. Well,
I'm doing all I can, all that's humanly possible for me to bring runs to the White Sox here, having absolutely no control over anything and yet no runs. So I will try my best. I'll be doing another webcast, I think, in about a week. I think the offensive
15th, I think, yeah.
The offensive funk will be gone. The Sox will score runs, and we'll feel better about things.
Well, the one standout, Cody Hart did a nice job.
Yes.
I thought he got 2 strikeouts. Yeah, 2 strikeouts when around third.
You're right about Hoyer, because that's good, because he faced the best of the Dodgers and held them without a run. You're talking about Betts. You're talking about Seager, Turner, Pollock. So that's the highlight for me going forward. Just what's the best thing to take from this game? Cody Hoyer, and then the double by Andrew Vaughn.
Right. Okay, good. So White Sox fall to 1-5-3 as they face the Padres tomorrow. Again, 2 o'clock, Chicago time, 1 o'clock here. Chuck, thanks for being with us again. Enjoyed it, as always. Again, the final score as we sign off here from Glendale. The Dodgers 8 and the White Sox nothing. See you soon.